The hidden floor. The rain had been falling for hours when Samir finally spotted the flickering neon sign of the 7 Nights Hotel. The building loomed against the storm, its gray facade streaked with water, its windows reflecting nothing but darkness. Something about it felt older than its recent reopening, as if the renovations had only dressed up a corpse. Inside, the lobby was dimly lit by a handful of yellow bulbs that buzzed faintly. A tall, thin receptionist stood behind the desk, his pale face framed by hair that looked damp even indoors. Without much ceremony, he slid a key card across the counter. "Room 604, he said, voice low. "Elevator on the right. And, never press the button for the 7th floor." Samir gave a nervous laugh, assuming it was some kind of quirky hotel lore. The receptionist did not laugh back. His gaze lingered a second too long, and Samir felt a small, inexplicable chill run through his spine. The elevator was old, the kind with a wheezing motor and tarnished buttons. He pressed 6, the doors groaned shut, and the cab rattled its way upward. When it reached his floor, the doors opened to a long hallway lined with identical doors and patterned carpet worn thin in the middle. The faint smell of mildew clung to the air. Room 604 was perfectly ordinary: beige walls, a bed with neatly tucked sheets, a small desk. Rain tapped against the window like restless fingers. He unpacked, switched on the TV, and tried to shake off the eerie vibe of the place. Around midnight, he woke to the sound of the elevator dinging. He shouldn't have been able to hear it from his room, it was too far away, yet the sound was sharp, as though it were right outside his door. Then came the faint whir of machinery, and the ding again, slightly higher this time, like the elevator was climbing, slowly. Curiosity prickled at him. He stepped into the hallway. The air felt heavier now, damp, and the wallpaper seemed darker than before. He followed the sound to the elevator. The display above the door was old-fashioned, with a little brass needle that pointed to floor numbers. It was moving up. 4, 5, 6, then it hesitated. The needle twitched. Then it slid to 7. Samir frowned. He remembered the receptionist's warning, but he also remembered that the building was supposed to have only 6 floors. Yet, when the doors opened, he saw a hallway dimly lit in a sickly yellow hue. The carpet was stained in dark patterns, and the air smelled faintly metallic, like rust, or blood. Every door on that floor had the same number, 709. He stepped forward, and the elevator doors slid shut behind him without his pressing anything. The hallway felt wrong, slightly slanted, the floorboards creaking under the carpet as though they were rotting beneath. Somewhere far away, or maybe just behind one of the doors, someone was whispering. He leaned toward one door. The whispering stopped. The handle was cold when he touched it, and without effort, it turned. Inside was a room that looked exactly like his, same suitcase by the bed, same half-empty water bottle on the desk. But the bed wasn't empty. He was lying there, eyes closed, chest rising and falling with deep, slow breaths. Samir froze. Then, as if sensing him, the figure in the bed opened its eyes. They were not quite his eyes, the pupils too large, the whites clouded. A slow, crooked smile stretched across the other Samir's face. "You're late," it said, though the lips barely moved. The hallway lights began to flicker violently. The whispering returned, louder now, layered voices speaking in unison, repeating something he couldn't understand. The doors along the hallway all creaked open, revealing shadows that didn't match the shapes in the rooms. He ran. The hallway seemed longer than before, stretching into darkness. He pounded the elevator button until the doors opened, throwing himself inside. The button panel was different now, there was no G, number 1 through 6. Only 7. With no choice, he pressed it. The elevator groaned, descended, and after what felt like hours, the doors opened to the lobby. Everything looked normal again, warm light, soft music. The receptionist looked up as if nothing had happened. "Sir, I told you not to go there." Samir didn't answer. He left without even checking out, driving through the storm until the hotel was far behind him. 3 days later, unpacking his suitcase at home, he found a key card in the side pocket. It was labeled, "Room 709, 7th floor."